Welcome to the Warband, a World of Warcraft podcast. My name is Swag, and with me today to mark the end of an era, the War Within is coming to a close, and so I wanted to invite, our favorite Warband member, Chicken, back onto the podcast. He did so good with the last 77 episodes. I thought, you know what? We should bring him back for episode 78. What's up, Chicken?
Dude, I missed one of those episodes.
That's true.
I did.
You did.
I don't remember which one.
You did miss one. You missed one.
I missed one of those episodes.
It was the worst episode ever. Actually, it was pretty good. It was a good
I don't
episode.
know if I go that far.
We had a panel on. They did good. However, as we are ending the War Within, we're getting prepared for midnight. You know, Chicken, it's kind of cool thinking about how like the War Within was the start of our podcast, right? Like, that's where the name even comes from. Warbands was a War Within feature.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy. Yeah, you literally just said it, and I was like, that's pretty crazy.
Pretty wild. So here's the thing.
True story.
A true story. As we are wrapping up this expansion, we're getting ready for midnight. We're launching midnight really later this week if you're listening on release day of the podcast.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
That's
so
true.
We wanted to do something as we kind of ramp into midnight and bring not just Chicken back for his 77th episode, but we also want to bring back a couple of your favorite guests that we've had on podcast, and honestly, our favorite guests that we've had on podcast. Some of the people that we've gotten really close to and formed great friendships with, and just love the conversation and the discussion that goes on. I'm trying to build it up like it's a hype and a surprise, but they've already read the title. They know that this episode is featuring the one, the only VibingGorilla. What's up, Gorilla? How are you doing? Dude, I love it. How
you doing?
I love it. Dude, you know what? We reference this sometimes on the podcast, but one time we had Touchpad Warrior on the pod, and the opening.
He's a good guy.
He's awesome. I love him. And the opening was Chicken balking like a chicken, and I think that scared him a little bit.
100%.
And so now we've come full circle. We've completed. Now our guest has made his own animal noises. Although I love it, dude. Have you been practicing that for the streams?
No.
Dude, it was good, bro. It was good. It was spot on. You heard it here first. All right. I'm excited.
It's my old man energy.
Oh yeah,
that's true.
Dude,
real quick.
Yeah.
I'm definitely an old man, dude. I was literally drinking a cup of coffee and watching the news at 3 p.m.
No, dude. Did you have your slippers on and getting a newspaper out of your driveway?
I didn't get the newspaper, but I might have had my Bombas on, dude.
Okay. All right.
No, let's not talk about it. Wow, that's why we're here.
Oh, is that what...
We're here for World of Warcraft. All things World of Warcraft and, dad, I guess. I don't know. We've got some dads who love this podcast. So, it is we call them the faithful fathers, Gorilla. If you ever hear us refer to faithful fathers, it's kind of this endearing term we have for the dads in our guild who primary content is delves. And, they're our favorite.
I love that though.
They're our favorite, yeah.
Because it's not something I would spam, but I like watching people who are doing that and they just take their time with it, and it's an MMO at the end of the day, right?
Oh yeah.
Literally whatever you want, whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm often ridiculed for speaking poorly about delves, but I think delves as content are great. Not content for me, but it's great content.
Right. No, exactly. Right.
Yeah.
It may not work with you, but other people, it allows them to play the game something to relate to.
Yeah, especially when you look at more content coming out housing, right? I don't do I love housing, but I know people who don't do housing, right? And that's fine, right? It's just content
that
for
brought
everybody.
so many people to WoW, I feel.
Oh, dude, my wife plays WoW because of it.
Yeah, exactly. There it is. People are WoW housing.
Yeah, dude, housing has really, really changed a lot. Also, Gorilla, sorry, I'll just let you know your noise gate's now a little too strong. It's cutting you off.
No, it's not. Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, you're all good, dude. You're all good, man. That's
I'll
no
get it.
problem.
I'll get it.
Dude, you're no problem at all. But for everybody listening, it's so cool to see how there's different things. Even PvP, right? just different forms of content that you can do in the game that just make it so fun. And that's why we wanted to do something a little different today. Having Gorilla on for this episode, we want to take a moment and just look back on the War Within as a whole, the whole expansion, and just be like, okay, what was a win? What wasn't a win? What did we enjoy? What would we like to see more of in the future? What do we hope we never see again, right? You know, for some people, Xal'atath's toes could be on either of those lists. And we're not going to find out until you listen to the whole podcast episode. Actually, I don't even know if that's going to be a topic that comes up. But we are going to talk about everything else.
Some nice feet right there.
Dude, you know, okay, you know, we are talking about it. We are talking about this right now.
No,
you know,
Start off with feet. Let's go.
I mean, listen, we're going to talk about the War Within, right? How were them feet, right? But no, I mean, the reason why I bring up some animator somewhere was like, dude, I'm telling you guys, these shots right here are going to tell the story.
Dude,
every time.
Stop. No. If anyone thought that, I would be, I don't know. No, there's no way someone thought that. They're probably like, why do I have to be the one that designs the freaking feet?
Right.
There's a part of me that thinks that if I'm being optimistic, there's a part of me that thinks that whoever was storyboarding it, coming up with the shots and everything, was like, okay, this shot here, this shot shows Xal'atath elevated over top of people, right? Like it's an establishing shot that shows a power dynamic difference. I like to believe that that's the case, and just coincidentally, that meant her feet had to be in it. With that said, there's probably a 25% chance I'm right, and a 75% chance somebody at Blizzard was like, dude, people like feet. We got to put them in there.
No. Put them in there. No, there's no way. You think so?
No, I have no clue, dude. I got no clue. I'm just making up numbers. Next week, we're going to have the Xal'atath feet animator on the podcast as our guest.
To explain all your needs.
Anyways, though, why don't we rank? So we're going to be ranking everything. So, Chicken, from 1 to 10, how were Xal'atath's feet?
No. Stop.
We're not ranking anything. No. You're good. I'm just trolling.
What is wrong with you?
No, dude. I'm in a goofy mood today. All right.
I like that.
Yeah, dude. Overall,
Goofy's good.
Good. Overall, I just want to ask, right? Like, before we go into the specifics, overall experience with the War Within, right? I'll ask Chicken, and then we'll ask Gorilla. Chicken, what was your overall experience with the War Within? This is your third expansion now that you've been a part of. How'd it feel?
Yeah, I'd say maybe like 2.5 though. I don't know if I really count Shadowlands because I mean, okay, maybe a little bit.
Did you just say 2.5?
Chicken got the good part of
Shadowlands.
Yeah, you got the good part of Shadowlands.
Yeah. So I haven't been around too long. Yeah.
Oh, wait. Clarify, Gorilla. He didn't say he's rating it a 2.5.
I was like, wait, what?
No.
No, he means he's experienced 2.5 expansions.
Yeah. So I don't have a lot to compare to, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but overall, how did it feel?
Well, here's the thing, and that's why I kind of preface it. My literally, like, the only thing I can compare it to is Dragonflight, right?
Yeah.
I don't really want to compare it to Shadowlands because, like Swag said, I was literally only around for like season 4, and that's kind of where people are like, like it's okay, but it was also kind of nice because we didn't have to do the same dungeons for a 4th time.
That's true.
So, in terms of where I'm at, I think I have to rank it a little bit below Dragonflight. I think Dragonflight will always kind of hold a special just like place in my heart. It's the first expansion I ever played from launch until the next one. But I think it was I think it's like just as good, if not maybe a little better. It just doesn't have like that nostalgic factor for me. I think everything they did with Mythic Plus really makes sense. I might not agree with everything, but I think it makes sense for the game overall. I think raids were pleasantly designed. I think they were better than Dragonflight.
Yeah.
And dungeon pool, I think is kind of like yin and yang. I think both dungeon pools were still really good. But yeah, the aesthetic was really nice. Obviously, Undermine was really cool. You had Tazavesh and those areas again.
Yeah.
Those were neat. Yeah, so weirdly enough, I just said I'd rank it below Dragonflight, but I think on a overall perspective, I think it might be a little bit better. It's just I think Dragonflight will always kind of hold a special place in my heart. So
A special place in his heart.
it was good. It was good. Yeah, I mean,
I gotta
give it
agree
a
though.
number.
Like Dragonflight was good, dude.
Dude, Dragonflight was a good expansion. All right, Gorilla.
It was,
How was the War Within, dude?
I mean, I enjoyed it quite a bit. I mean, season 3 was a little stale for me. I feel
Yeah.
like the last season. But other than that, I mean, the raids were fun, right? I really like Eco Dome Dungeon. You know, they did really good with like all those biodome areas and the new.
They were so cool.
Oh, dude, great! And all the new stuff that they put into the game within the War Within was pretty sweet. I mean, I would definitely put it below Dragonflight. Dragonflight was really good, and me being a Druid main, that was like an expansion for Druids. They came out all the cool forms and stuff, you know?
Dude, can I ask a question?
I can't put that. Yeah.
Can we go? We'll do rail and then we'll re-rail back later. I don't like that phrasing. Anyways, dude, what I wanna ask is like, as a Druid main, do you kind of feel like it's a little weird that Evokers or Drakthir didn't get Druids?
I just no. I just think it's weird that pandas can't be Druids.
Yeah, you would think after all this
that's
time.
my thing. I think it's more weird that a panda can't be a Druid.
That's true. I don't know.
Because they got Worgans.
Yeah, in my brain, I was like, okay, yeah. The Drakthir close to the green dragonflight, of course they can be Druids. That seems like the most dragon.
Oh yeah,
right,
yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, I derailed you. I apologize. My favorite Boomkin friend. Keep going back to what you thought of the War Within.
I love the sound of that. But no, yeah, I was just saying, Dragonflight would definitely be above War Within if I were to place it in that order.
Yeah.
Just because, you know, like I said, I'm a Druid and I enjoy Dragonflight a lot. But for me, myself, the War Within, like the guild was super fun. I mean, we did a lot of fun things. And for me personally, it was a really fun time.
Dude,
and I can't wait to see what, you know, Midnight brings. You know, it's going to be a great time.
Isn't it crazy how your experience with people totally changes? Like, totally changes the way that you view an expansion?
Oh, 100%. Yeah,
like,
absolutely. It's like, that goes with any game, though, right?
Yeah.
It's like, if you're playing and having fun in any game, like, of course you're going to keep playing it and enjoy it way more.
Yep. Some of the most fun I had in any WoW expansion. Like, if somebody said, which WoW expansion did you have, like, the most fun in? Shadowlands would be a high contender for the top. Like, a high contender for the top. Just because that's when I found the guild I'm in currently. That's when I was, like, the most in just doing shenanigans in game all the time and, like, goofing off all the time. Like, right, like, it's just, you know, the community that you find absolutely changes how the
right.
content experience feels.
You're not just walking around the main city in circles and Orbos going around and around and around. You know, you're actually out in the world doing things, whether you're doing mount farming or, you know, spamming dungeons, helping people gear, you know?
Dude, like, I've been having a blast in the game recently just because my wife's getting into it because of housing, right? And I'm not even doing content that I would normally care to do. Like, I don't care to go farm things. I don't want to go.
You see it in her eyes now,
right?
Though, which is nice.
But she's excited. So heck yeah, I'm whipping out my 2-seater rocket and I'm gonna show her where to farm this, right?
Oh my god!
And then give her the little lore play-by-plays as we're flying through zones. This sword over here, I don't even know what the sword is, right?
Right.
Dude, speaking of which, they hard promoed the sword leading into the War Within, didn't they? Remember at BlizzCon, it was like, oh, the cinematic had the sword in it, and everybody was wearing the shirts that said, "What sword? Whatever happened with that?
Just died off.
I feel like I know what you're talking about. Maybe we don't know yet.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's a trilogy thing. Maybe they have to finish the trilogy. In order for that. What?
I bet it is.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's got to be, right? Because that's where they kind of announced the whole trilogy kind of deal, right? It wasn't just like yeah,
that's true.
You know what I mean?
That's true. You might be onto something, but it feels like we should have gotten a
The
nibble,
sword.
at least something,
Right.
at least like
Little
some
peek,
little
little
like
sneak peek.
yeah, like little lore. Even just if it was like one dialogue. I mean, I think we go to the sword at the very beginning or something weird like that, and that's like it. But I feel like there should have been like a dialogue mid-expansion somewhere. Maybe like one of the Heronir. They're like, ever since that weapon was plunged into Azeroth. Right? And that's it.
I can't wait to be one of them.
Oh, dude, they're sick. I don't know if I like the story that's being written around them, but the concept of them is cool. And so I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like they just need more separation from... I don't always love it when it's like, here's a race that does the thing but better than the other races, right?
Right.
It feels like
everybody's going to be it.
Because it feels like they step on like Night Elf lore and they kind of step on Tauren lore a little bit. And I don't know, man. It feels like lately Night Elves have kind of been like, they were once the like super cool, epic, like crazy race. And wow, that was like just so mysterious and powerful. And then now you're like, oh yeah, Night Elves.
Everyone is.
Oh yeah. And so... I mean, mechagnomes, I think, are a good example. No one likes mechagnomes, but mechagnomes are a good example because it's not just gnomes, but better. It's like gnomes that tried to do something.
Did you say mechagnomes are better?
No. I mean,
gnomes?
no. I'm saying like lore-wise, right? The lore of a mechagnome isn't just like,
I was about to say, dude,
right?
mechagnomes,
It's not just like, oh, gnome, but better. It's like, no, they're mechanical, but that's kind of a bad thing, right? Like, it was kind of like, oh, actually, they kind of screwed up a bit. This was not a good. This was some bad body horror, right? Whereas the Heronir are just like, it's Night Elves, but better. And that feels a little weird, but that's we can save that for the midnight expansion review that we'll be doing with Gorilla, already on the calendar for 2 years from now.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, already booked. Yeah, I got it in my calendar.
So Gorilla, I want to ask you there, because I don't know. Again, Chicken, as he mentioned, he came in mid Shadowlands, but you've had a good amount of time in World of Warcraft. So I want to ask you. There's a lot of talk around the War Within kind of just feeling like a Dragonflight 2.0 in terms of experience. Do you feel like that is a relatable expression? If so, do you think that's good or bad?
I wouldn't relate them. I mean, every expansion is different in their own way, right? And they release new but old things in every single expansion.
Yeah,
right? It's how they improve. But
absolutely.
How they did they did the dungeons differently this time around too, because I do a lot of Mythic Plus. That's like what I enjoy quite a bit of. And then with, I mean, I don't know. I enjoyed it personally. I would say that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
yeah. I think a lot of the conversation comes and. It's interesting what the difference of experiences you get with different WoW players, right? Because the way you play the game changes maybe how you're going to view things, right? So if you're a super high competitive player,
1,000%,
right? Super competitive player trying to push like title range, you're going to be like, dude, there's not enough change in these classes to justify me running dungeons 30 times a day, every day, right? And And for that kind of player, I get it. But there's also a part of me that feels like Dragonflight was a really good reset on a lot of things and solidified a few things. And it kind of, I think it would have been foolish if they just went, oh, well, we have to redesign the wheel again going into the War Within, right? And instead they focused on some like other elements rather than class tuning. It was things like new affixes, right? That honestly I think are way better, right? Right.
I like how they have that
like
now.
The Warband system and other stuff. So I want to pick your brain on that because I personally, in some ways, I'm like, yeah, the War Within feels a lot like Dragonflight, maybe more than one expansion normally feels like the next expansion. They definitely feel very similar, but I do think it has enough to stand on its own, which is good, and I think it'll be remembered well. Probably not like exciting. It won't be like, oh, the War Within was the most exciting expansion. But I don't think people are going to look back and be like, oh, that one sucked. I think people will be like, yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it.
And I think the War Within is a good setup to what's to come.
Absolutely.
For what's to come. Like, it's literally like, okay, maybe it's not the best. Like, people don't like it. Or let's say the majority of people didn't like it. Well, now they're going to get a whole new crew coming in I think WoW's gonna do really good pretty soon.
I'm excited for Midnight because to me it feels like the War Within is a blend of where they were planning on going originally and then where they're going now with the story, right? It seems like they had to pivot mid-design, and that kind of creates a little awkwardness. Like, I think the Harrenir were probably supposed to have a little more presence in the War Within, and maybe some other elements. And so you can see that pivot happen, but post-pivot, I think we're going to see some really cool story things. I don't know if you're a story guy or not a story guy when it comes to WoW.
I'm trying to get into it. Like I know a little bit, but not like a whole lot. And I'm trying to find like a good YouTube channel that would be like have every single one in like the order, which I'm sure it's freaking hard.
No, there you go. There you go, swag.
There we go. Perfect. No. Dude, there's good content out there. Guys like Platinum WoW do a good job at stuff. The hard thing is it's really easy, especially for lore content, to just get the channels that just do like speculation speculation every day, right? And then you're like, well, I don't know if this is like real lore or just somebody's interpretation of lore. But there's some good podcasts out there. There's one I suggest to our listeners a lot. It's it's a lot vulgar. So if that's not somebody's thing, totally get it. But there's a podcast called Morally Gray, and they do like a just a chronological telling of the Warcraft story, but it's hilarious and like super easy to follow
like in their own way, right?
So awesome. Basically you have like one dude who's like a super lore nerd, and then another guy who knows nothing about lore but just makes hilarious quips the whole time, and he has to try and remember and learn it all. And the way he gives like characters nicknames make him easier to remember, things like that. Again, language a little heavy, but it's actually like an easy listen if you're trying to learn lore. Anyways,
you gotta DM me that. Yeah,
I will. So with that said, let's pivot to our actual review of all the nitty gritty in the War Within. There's a good chance we're not going to hit everything. There's definitely topics that we're leaving out, like things like PvP that just not super engaged with, but also I don't think that there was a whole lot to PvP in the War Within. I think it was the same old. So we're going to try and hit the things that we at least have experience with personally that we've encountered. We are going to leave things out like player housing and other really obvious midnight features. We will kind of touch on them as we talk about the pre-patch experience, but that's not really the emphasis in that. So with that said, let's talk about all things War Within, starting with zone design, right? I don't know how you guys felt kind of going in launch day. Gorilla, I'm guessing you were probably in early access, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. So both of you guys going in launch day, playing WoW, leveling through. Let's not talk about later patches yet, but just the main Khazalgar and underground zones. How was it comparatively to other expansions, design, aesthetic? What'd y'all think?
I mean, I liked it. My favorite part was the Ring and Deeps.
Really?
Yeah, I enjoyed that area. Hollowfall wasn't bad.
Yeah.
But Ashkahet, I'm not a fan of like the dark areas.
Nah, dude, I think it was a little too much underground.
Like put me in Daenerys and I'm happy. Bright sand dunes, like something like that.
Yeah. Dude, I think it was just a touch too much underground.
Yeah.
Right. I think we could have had maybe one more zone above ground. I think the Ashkahet stuff probably could have been blended with Hallowfall a little bit more because their stories seem too connected.
Yeah. I mean, it is kind of in a sense, it's kind of connected a little bit.
Yeah. And just, I mean, in the sense that they're constantly at war with each other.
Yeah.
I also get why they were separated because Ashkahet is a good lead into that first raid, right? Like you kind of need that story. Anyways, Chicken, what did you think? Kind of leveling through, experiencing zones.
Yeah. 100%. The first thing I thought was, hey, that underground portion in Dragonflight was just a test for Halifal.
Oh,
That's
absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
Or not Halifar, the Ringing Deeps. I was like,
Yeah.
100%. Granted, I'm not against it. I think it makes sense, obviously. And as an engineer, I tip my hat to Blizzard. Anyways, no, the design was cool. I did think Hollow Fall was probably the coolest because you're underground and then you go out and you're just like, whoa, like, I can see light again. Like, what's going on? And I do agree that the spider place, and I'm not gonna try to butcher how you say it. Yep, that place is definitely a bit too dark for me. I do like the lighter zones, just in general. I think they're easier to kind of comprehend on my eyes.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think the only thing that I'll say is Dornigal felt, I don't want to say a little clunky, but it almost felt like different. Like, I think what I liked about Valdrakken was everything was literally like in the square, where I think it's a little more split up in Dornigal, which is okay, but I kind of like that aspect of Valdrakken.
Yeah.
But that's not the end of the world, right?
Yeah. No, it totally makes sense. Yo, hot take, dude. They should have just had an updated Dollarin.
What do you mean?
Like, I
Wait,
just feel,
They already did that, no?
well, they did it in Legion, but I mean like an updated Dollarin. Like, actually, like, kind of rescaled a little bit. I don't know. I guess Dornigal was okay. But maybe I'm just not a fan of the, like...
My Dornigal.
You like it?
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Like, I feel like everything was kind of close.
Yeah. Layout-wise, I didn't
each
hate
other.
it. Yeah, layout-wise, I didn't mind. I don't know. I don't know if I love the, like... the cities that kind of feel halvesy like a city, if that makes sense. Like, Dornigal was kind of like a city, but kind of not like a city. It's hard to explain what I mean by that. And I don't know. I think sometimes I get really excited when we go to expansions that have, like, a city in them. And I'm just like, whoa, it's a city. And I feel like I would have preferred more zone and less Dornigal in Kazalgar, if that makes sense. Like, a little bit more of the outside stuff.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah. But maybe it's also because Valdrakken felt that way, right? Valdrakken was kind of like, yeah, I mean, sort of a city, but it's not really a city, right? It was kind of one of those hubs, and I think having two of those back to back. Also, Oribos, right? Right, dude.
Oribos.
Dude, Oribos is so funny because I hate everything about Oribos in terms of design. I hate having to walk without being able to fly, right? Like everything.
Right. You have to go upstairs to get to the flight paths. It's like it's all separated.
You have to go upstairs.
I'm all set with that.
It's all gray, right? Except Oribos had the most goated, like, just circle to walk in when you were born.
Yeah. How many laps did you do around that?
Dude, like hundreds.
I think there was an add-on that came out for people who, like, ran around those laps and it counted.
I used to have an add-on that tracked the water fountain in Valdrakken.
Really?
Yeah. Dude, maybe that's the problem with Dornigal. Maybe Dornigal doesn't have someone for me to mindlessly walk. I do jump between the little squares.
Okay.
Really?
Now, do you think that they think about stuff like that when they lay out main cities like that? Like, do you think that more players will stay in the main city if it's like in a circle?
I don't know.
Probably.
They got to think of something like that because I did miles in that circle.
Oh yeah, absolutely right. And you're just like sitting in voice chat talking to people the whole time. Like you're in the game, but you're not playing the game. You're just logged in.
Exactly.
Dude, those were peak. I don't know if you remember like old Orgrimmar, right before the Cataclysm overhaul, and I would just jump around the roof of the auction house the whole time. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Those little things that just kind of like hook you where you just, I don't know. Even in Dornigal, I'll jump like the squares. Like there's like the squares, so I have like a rule in my head of how it has to work, and I'll like just jump in this like little semicircle thing. Anyways, off topic. Silvermoon looks like it's gonna be a goated city though, so I'm kind of low-key hyped for that. Yeah, that looks good. And what I like with Silvermoon is it's not just like the same Silver Moon we had before, but like slightly up-resed.
Yeah, they're
It's
doing
like,
a little bit
no,
of
dude.
updates.
I love it when they build cities. Like when we got Suramar, right? I thought Borealis was really cool as a city. I don't know. I like the cities.
I wasn't a fan of Surma.
I just like, I don't know if I care about the city having to be like a combat zone, right? But I like when I like look at the city and I see it sprawling and I see the buildings and everything. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
That feels
The details.
world building. Yeah.
Right.
Dude, I'd love to see like a Stormwind and an Orgrimmar rebuilt like that.
They kind of did do a little rebuilding to it
Yeah.
in the past.
I love just, yeah, but imagine like you load in for whatever expansion comes after Last Titan, right? And Stormwind is like 3 times the size. And maybe most of it doesn't matter. Like maybe all the stuff you really need is like in one area. But when you're flying in and out of Stormwind, you're like, this is epic. This is cool, right? Yeah. All right. Anyways, we're talking about zone designs. So if we were like, I just want to know like, what's like the questing experience? I know lore isn't always the biggest one for us, but when you're questing through the zones, which one did you feel like you connected with the best?
I would say Hallowfall.
Hallowfall?
Yeah, Hallowfall. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to do there.
That's true.
Right?
That's true, yeah. Chicken, what about you?
Probably just like the Isle, like the main Isle, Isle of Dorn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that just felt pretty good.
Dude,
to be honest, yeah. I think that was the easiest part, to just fly around and like mine and like do things like that, grab random things to sell in the auction house.
Dude,
So,
yeah.
Totally. Yeah, the sharks. All the sharks in Hallowfall. Woo.
Oh, well, that too, yeah.
So I think my answer is kind of in between both of you. I think going into Hallowfall, like loading into Hallowfall for the first time, seeing the giant crystal in the sky, right? Like that was sick. Hallowfall, in terms of like beautiful design, I think is my favorite of the like original zones. With that said, I don't know, man. I thought I would love the storyline with the people in Hallowfall. I'm blanking on the names right now, but I thought I was gonna love the storyline with the people there. But it just kind of felt almost too predictable. And I didn't like love anybody. Like I wasn't like loving the characters. I was just like, okay, whatever. But what did catch me off guard is like I went into this expansion being very whatever on Earthen. Because we've done so much with Earthen already. We've done so much with dwarves already. I'm like, okay, whatever. Dude, I don't know what it was, but I love those Earthen. Like, am I going to play one? Probably not. But, dude, I just loved all of them. They were their little roboticness to them, right? They're like little, everything is so factual and whatever. Like, they're just adorable. I love those guys. And then when
they eat rocks.
Yeah, they eat rocks. And when Baelgrim died, I was like, oh my gosh, my heart has been broken. So, I liked, I will say, I think the top island, was my favorite to quest through. I think I started to get a little tired of the Earthen once I went to the Ringing Deeps, because then I was like, okay, I've had 2 zones of this now. I don't need 2 zones of it. I just need 1. but it was good. The Ashkahet, dude, I think Ashkahet was a big miss. I don't know anybody who loved Ashkahet. And I know sometimes there's that fun of like Maldraxxus did it really well, where you go to Maldraxxus and you have all these like corpses and undead, and then you're doing the quest and you're like, actually I kind of like these guys. These Maldraxxus people are kind of like you know, my heart gets a little attached to them.
Maldraxxus wasn't bad.
No,
yeah.
The zone was ugly, but when you got to know the characters, you were like, oh, I really like these characters. I think the problem with Ashkahet, though, is they went too far with it. I think it went too far. It was really hard for me to care at all about any of the spiders. Personality-wise, personality-wise, they stayed too distant, right? Even the ones that we were helping, it was too just orderly and factual. And I know I said the Earthen was factual, but they were factual in the cute way, right? The Ashkahet spiders were just factual in like a cold way. Like they would normally have killed us, but they kind of need our help, so they're going to begrudgingly take our help. And I don't know, man. It was hard for me to care, right? Like, it was really hard for me to care. Like, the Spider Queen could have killed them all, and okay, cool, right?
All right. Well, on to the next one.
Right? Like if the Spider Queen had offered me gold to go help her out, I'd be like, okay,
How much?
sounds good,
Yeah,
right?
just
Right, whatever, right? Dude, if someone came up to me to give me gold to start killing off the cute little earthen, I'd be like, no, those are my precious. So
Right.
I don't know, man. I also, you know what I fell in love with too? I loved the kobolds.
The who?
The kobolds.
Rocky doos and loot.
No. Those are the Pandaren guys. The kobolds are the candle ones.
Yeah. In the dungeon where
Yeah.
you got to light the way.
Well, because historically, kobolds were like always like kind of a nuisance, right? Like think about like leveling like a human for the first time, and it's just like you're fighting kobolds nonstop. And then all of a sudden we get this zone where like, dude, we're just running around helping out these cute little kobolds who just want some wax because the dark is scary. Which also we never got a conclusion to that. What the heck was that thing that was attacking us in Dark Flame Cleft?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I killed it.
Yeah,
Did you
no,
like
you
that
didn't.
place?
You didn't.
It just runs away.
You
Yeah, the
don't kill
darkness,
it.
right?
Right.
The whole reason why kobolds have candles is because they're afraid of whatever's in the darkness. Oh, and we got that creepy like monster fish thing in Halifall that we never got a conclusion to either. It was like a very voidy type thing, but like an old school void, right? The type of void that had tentacles and eyeballs, not the like new
You're
school
starting to
void.
make me realize how many plot holes there are in this expansion, my friend.
That's why I said
No
it.
sword.
it
What
felt
happened
like-
to the darkness?
Yeah, it feels like
Yeah.
they're pivoting. It feels like they pivoted mid planning for this expansion to account for the trilogy. I really believe that's the case.
Even with the darkness?
Yeah, I think if they had
stop.
because they had to pivot towards getting Zalatath ready for midnight, right? Which is
Oh,
what
okay,
Undermine
yeah,
was
I
doing.
could probably get
what
beyond that.
Koresh was
I can get
doing.
beyond that.
Yeah. Because I wouldn't have
Yeah,
been
I can get beyond
surprised.
that.
I wouldn't have been surprised if like one of the original added zones was supposed to be this like deeper layer of the underground where we find out actually what was that like fish monster voidy thing, and then what was the darkness, right? And maybe like those are kind of found a little bit lower. And again, both of those represent an older type of void in World of Warcraft, right? Like the old void was the like old gods, the tentacles, right? The eyeballs. And then the new void is this like cosmic. It's not even purple anymore. It's like a bluish.
4K
Yeah.
void.
the 4K void, right? This cosmic void that's different, right? The Zalatath brand of void, which is cool. But also, sometimes I miss the tentacles, right? So,
Right. Which one do you prefer? Which one would you rather have?
oh man, dude, tentacles or feet, bro? This is sound like a
Yeah,
whole
that's
different
what it comes
podcast
to.
right now. This sounds like a whole different podcast.
My.
All right.
Oh,
With that
Commercial
said,
break.
with that said, though,
please.
I'm kind of hoping we see some distinction at some point, like, oh, actually, those two forms of void don't work together or something. I don't know. I'm just curious what happens there. Not necessary. As we talk about zone design, though, I'll move along. What did you guys think of the two added zones between Undermine and Koresh? Any overarching thoughts there?
I would say I did. I thought the Undermine was cool, right? That the design was good. Going through the quest, going up the stairs,
Mhm.
being a Tauren, it was very hard. But good thing I got cat form, right?
That's true. That's true.
As far as like the vehicle, I don't know. I wasn't really a big fan of the whole vehicle thing. Like I used it. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but it was different. People enjoyed it. It just wasn't my favorite.
That makes sense. I actually low-key love the vehicle. And I think the reason why
Awesome.
I liked it,
Yeah.
and I can explain. So I liked it because it felt very Goblin tech, right? Like I think the reason why a lot of people don't like it
100%.
is it was hard to control, right? Like it was hard to control. It felt like you're hitting things all the time. But in my mind, I was like, this is exactly what a Goblin car would do, right? Like if I was trying to drive a Goblin car, that's the experience. Which is why I'm glad they didn't try to like then just open it up to everything. And that was like when people are like, this is going to be the new mounting style. I'm like, I hope not. Like it's a
Yeah, no
special
way.
experience for Undermine. What I would love, you mentioned Daenerys, right? I would love if they went back to like some like old content areas. I can't remember the name.
Bring
like
the track back.
the tracks, right? And like what if they brought the drive, the car system out into this like mini game, like a Mario. Imagine if they built like a Mario Kart mini game in WoW using the drive system, and using like tracks from old content,
leaderboards.
Yeah, right.
Oh my
and like imagine it's
gosh.
like multiplayer, like you and like 4 friends can all group up, right? Like have a party of 5 and go like.
Didn't they have a track in 1,000 Needles?
They did.
Go into Daenerys, right?
Yeah. But imagine if they just had, even if it was like the flying system where there's just like rings that you have to go through to make sure you stay. But imagine if they had like a Suedo Mario Kart type thing where you and your friends are driving around using drive, trying to like throw things at each other and whatnot. Like, I don't know.
Slick potions to spin them out.
Yeah.
Sick.
Absolutely right, dude. That inky black potion, bro. Throw that on the ground. So, anyways, I'm off topic. I like the cars for that reason, but I also 100% understand why people didn't like the cars.
Right. But I also, I also like the what is this the other place? Koresh.
Yeah.
Koresh was a really good place. Like I said earlier, I like the biodome feature. You got to help out in the biodome. Help the animals go here, do this. And I thought that was pretty cool.
Dude,
and the raid was awesome.
As a Daenerys friend or fan, right?
Yeah.
What did you think of Koresh?
I enjoyed Koresh.
Makes sense.
Wait. What do you mean?
Just because it brought back that deserty kind of vibe a little bit.
No, it did. That's probably why I liked it.
Yeah. Kind of in a cosmic way, but
it wasn't dark enough.
Mm-hmm.
And if you used an inky black potion there, it actually looks pretty sick.
Really?
Obviously, it goes dark, like really dark.
Yeah.
But like the domes are lit up, and it's sick how it lights up.
That's pretty cool. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, it was a cool zone. And you're right, the biodomes were sick. Even just like a good callback to Burning Crusade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
There's nothing, my wife will tell you, there's nothing that gets me more hyped than when WoW references something that hasn't been like important to WoW in like 15 years, right? And I'm like, oh my goodness, this is back. It's back. My wife's
They're still thinking about it.
It's like they haven't forgotten. They probably just pulled up a list of topics. They're like, oh, we haven't talked about this one in a while. We should probably do that. Chicken, I want to pivot to you, dude, a little bit. Kind of coming out, right? You talked about how you liked Khazalgar, the like upper area of the war thing, kind of being more outdoors. Not as big a fan of the underground zones. What'd you think of Koresh and Undermine? Obviously, Koresh was not underground. Undermine was underground, but kind of didn't feel it at times. What was your experience with those two?
Yeah, I mean, this is probably gonna go as no surprise, but yeah, I like Koresh. I thought it was kind of a homage to my favorite people in WoW.
The Ethereals?
And what'd you say?
The Ethereals?
No, well, Koresh kind of goes hand in hand with
you're right.
Kazavesh.
You're right. I totally forgot about the why am I blanking?
The gangsters.
Why am I blanking on
the brokers?
The brokers, yeah. I kept wanting to just say the broken, which are not the same. The broken are a subspecies of Draenei. The broken Draenei.
No idea.
Anyways, we're moving on from that.
Yeah, dude. I'm a sucker for the gangsters.
So yeah, because Chicken, you came to the game, I think, right when Tazavesh, the mega dungeon, was released, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So like Chicken's first real experience doing like content in WoW was with the Broken. So like I feel like for you that was like pretty awesome that they were able to come back.
Oh yeah, dude. Broken.
Mm-hmm.
They're the best.
They are. They're fun.
No, we keep saying this. The brokers. Oh my goodness.
Brokers.
Yeah, dude. I thought they were. I mean, I still rock the model. So.
Oh yeah, Chicken has the flaming helmet, right? The
like the jelly head.
Yeah. He goes with the jelly head with the blue fire on top of it. Yeah. He's rocked that ever since Shadowlands.
Yeah,
that's
dude.
Awesome. I respect it.
Oh,
do what you enjoy in the game, right?
Yeah. No, I thought it was good. I like that aspect. I like the color models, like the purples and that kind of go together.
Yeah.
Right.
And dude, I think Eco Dome was probably one of my favorite dungeons this expansion.
So good.
Oh, it was super.
It was a really good dungeon, dude. It's the colors were good. It's a 3-boss dungeon. You know, I get a
Quick
heart.
and easy. Yeah.
Dude, 3-boss dungeon is like mwah, chef's kiss.
And it wasn't many things to like silence. Like it was like a perfect amount, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
To silence, interrupt. And
yeah. Yeah, and yeah, it didn't have like it had its difficult parts, but it wasn't
Absolutely.
like overtly difficult. Like between the first boss and second boss could kind of be a pain, but like, dude, go to dungeon. Anyways, yeah, no, I like Kazavesh. It was good. Or yeah, whatever. Koresh. It's too late,
Well,
man.
Tazavesh was there. Tazavesh was there.
Kazavesh.
I like how they brought Tazavesh in as like a city though in Koresh. That was such a good touch.
Yeah, that was.
And I don't know if you guys noticed. Did you notice during like the opening bit, like the little quest when you first start in Tazavesh, and the one guy is like, "So long as the mall walker doesn't show up, we should be fine." While you're like standing there and you realize that they have no clue that you're the mall walker. I don't know why I thought that was like the funniest thing to me.
Oh no, I don't think I recognize it.
Yeah, there's like a like an offhanded comment made during like a quest text or something about how like Tazavesh has been recovering ever since the mall walker like ran through and wrecked everything.
How many alts do you have, Swag? A little off topic. I'm sorry.
Well, I have a lot of
Too
alts.
many.
How many though that are max level right now? I probably only have like 8 that are max level.
Okay, that explains. I'm like, you remember everything that these people are saying, and it's because I only do it one time, and I'm like, I'd never go back to do the quest, so I don't hear it again.
If it makes
The
you
fact
feel,
that you remember that stuff, I'm proud of you.
if it makes you feel better, dude, I always skip the quests. I only did that one time. I only did that one time, and then every time after that, I was just like skip.
Because I try to complete every single quest in every single zone as I go through in every expansion that I do.
Okay, I do not.
Just so
yeah.
I don't got to go back and do the rep, but I never remember like each quest.
I like
unless I
the
do it
little story bits. I will admit I'm a
Right,
little sucker
right.
for lore, but I'm also not going to go way out of my way to get lore, right? Like I'm not going to go do a 10 quest chain just to get a little bit of lore. I'll just go Google it. I'll just like Google, tell me what I would have learned if I did this.
Okay.
So a little context
All right,
there. I
sorry.
like those things, and it probably sticks out in my memory because when I saw it, I like pointed out and I like mentioned to somebody or something. So.
I just wish I could remember that.
You're all good. We did a whole 3-part series back for I think around Christmas, doing like lore for like 3 episodes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we did. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
Yeah. We call it the
Dude.
Lore Band.
What a meme.
Nice.
Yeah. It was something. So Chicken, you mentioned Koresh. What'd you think of? And I'm really curious because part of what I'm asking, Chicken, you generally play a gnome. Gnomes are your mains. And IRL, dude, you're a really good engineer. So going into Undermine, how did Undermine feel for you?
Oh, yeah. No, Undermine was pretty cool. I don't know, man. The drive mechanic was okay. To be honest, I found myself being more annoyed by it than I was like actually like interested in it.
Yeah.
Like it was like, oh, dude, why can't I just fly? Like come on, like just let me fly, please.
That makes sense.
So yeah, it's probably not like ideal, but yeah, sometimes I was just like, oh man, I just want to like fly, like please.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I thought the zone design was really cool. The storyline was really neat. The raid was cool. Again, go to dungeon with that too. Floodgate, but I don't think that's really like super, tied back to Liberation. It's just
no, but it came out. Yeah, it came out that.
Yeah, but it's not
but
like
it's not the zone.
It's not like zone. Yeah.
It's
That's what I was
goblin-y.
trying to say.
I'm surprised we didn't get like. I think they just put so much design time into Undermine. Like you can tell the design of Undermine probably took a little bit more than Koresh did for sure. So
Yeah.
I'm sure that the people designing the map just didn't have the ability to go and now design like an entire like raid as well on top of that, or dungeon. Entire dungeon as well on top of that.
Mhm.
Rest in peace, Bubbles.
Oh.
But you know what though? They also
poor
reused
Bubbles.
a lot of Undermine for the raid as well though.
What do you mean? Wait, say it again.
Because a lot of the raid, this was like one of our first open world raids, wasn't it?
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
We'll talk about that later, though. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, I thought Undermine was cool. Chicken, actually, one thing, actually, for both of you guys, I was thinking about. We're talking about the loop, the old Ouroboros loop, or the fountain in Valdrakken. Yep. Dude, I actually, like, for a while, I kept my Hearthstone on Undermine, even in the Koresh patch, because I love to just drift in circles around the hotel.
Oh my!
That's my new loop, actually. And it's just one continual drift. I don't stop. I just drift the whole time.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! See, that's why I was like,
do you play the Tokyo Drift song?
I do.
Ooh,
dude, listen. I beat all. I got gold on all the drive races, and in reverse mode.
And in reverse. What?
Dude, yeah. I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good at the driving thing. Pretty good. All right. With that said, though, let's move on to like the good content, the content we all know, that we all love, our favorite content in World of Warcraft. What did you guys think of the new tutorial island that they did?
Dude, I'm
kidding. We're talking about dungeons. We're talking about dungeons right now.
Oh.
All right. I'm messing with you.
I just told you I don't do alts.
I was like, dude, good, because I don't have an opinion on it, to be honest.
Yeah. Also, I want to clarify, half the alts I have at 80 right now are just because I was farming housing stuff in Remix.
Oh, my
God.
gosh.
Makes sense.
Oh, actually, that's fair.
I was like, I want some books. Let me go do the mage order hall real quick. Anyways. So dungeons, there's a lot that's changed in dungeons. Overall, though, including the dungeons that were added in, and we'll talk a little bit more about the change from a mega dungeon later, but including the dungeons that were added in Ecodome and Floodgate. What do you guys think of the overall design of dungeons, this expansion? Any that you loved? Any that you guys like really hated?
Dawnbreaker.
Is Dawnbreaker a love or a hate? Oh, a hate. Oh,
hate.
Oh,
you know what?
Oh, you're uninvited from the podcast.
Oh,
you know, it wasn't bad, right? With the right group, I'll say that. No dungeon is bad unless you have the right group. But it was really glitchy. But for a druid, if I went through the ship, I just shapeshifted back into my flight form and just flew right back up.
Mm-hmm.
But I understand how it could be bad for, people who don't have shapeshifting.
Yeah, dude, Dawnbreaker's a hard one because I get that. There's a bugginess to Dawnbreaker that you kind of have to account for, right? Like, there were certain spots I landed. So even as like a tank, when I was going to those little side ships, I couldn't land right on the pack. I kind of had to land to the side of the pack. So that way, if I missed, we'd be fine, right? And then run over. I really did not like the bugginess. With that said, though, I don't know if there's a dungeon that I love the concept of more than Dawnbreaker.
What did you like about it, the flying around part?
So there's a few things I liked, right? One, I thought the flying in Dawnbreaker felt good, right? In terms of like the idea that the boss is going to do a big bomb and you have to go fly out of its range. Conceptually, I think that's sick. Like, that is so cool. I think the execution could have been tighter, right? I don't think the death range was the same size as the actual sphere. So I think that was a little misleading. So I wasn't a huge fan of some of the bugginess. I wasn't a fan of the concepts. I loved, right? I love this idea that we're like jumping from ship to ship in the air, right? Doing these air battles. That felt kind of cool. Fighting bosses up on these Zeppelin type things. I liked the flying also in the sense that it made it really easy to get from point to point and pick which packs you wanted to pull. So it made like a little bit more of a unique experience in the dungeon, especially because where you respawned, you could always get back quickly. Like, you knew if somebody died in your group in Dawnbreaker, it was so easy to get them back to you in like a fast manner, no matter where you were at any given time. So that was nice. That was nice. I just think conceptually it was really cool. I think it was a really cool dungeon. I thought the boss fights were fun. I did not like I felt like the tuning on the first boss fight was unforgiving. I didn't love that, but also I generally prefer if a dungeon front loads difficulty rather than backloading difficulty, because nothing I hate more than getting to the end of a dungeon and finding out that your group's just not going to be able to complete it.
Right.
So conceptually, I like Dawnbreaker, but I also understand why I think the bugginess of it can create like a really sour experience.
Floodgate was my favorite.
Dude, Floodgate was fun.
Floodgate. Gambit was tough, but it was a good tough. You know, it's like once you like down that dragon boss, it's like, yo, if you can get past that,
yep,
your group is good. You know.
Oh yeah, dude, I love Gambit. Is a fun dungeon. I don't think I liked it as much this time around as I liked it the first time, only because that dragon felt harder than it used to.
Yeah.
A little tougher on the tuning. Priory though, I don't know, man, dude.
Priory, that's a hit or miss.
I think design.
I enjoy dungeons that you can pull massive, because you know I'm a boomy, so I just blast everything.
That's true.
Priory just felt a little too much sometimes. It's hard to explain, right? Like, it almost felt a little too long, even though I think it was only like, 3 bosses? 1, 2, 3. I think it was a 3-boss dungeon, right? It didn't have 4. Had a bunch of mini bosses. So it was a 3-boss dungeon, but it felt long. As weird as that is, it felt long. I think some of the trash packs felt a little punishing, which I think was, I don't know. There's just things with Priory where I feel like if they made Priory an easy dungeon in Season 3, like if they had just tuned it a little bit easier, it would have been like one of the coolest dungeons. But I think the tuning of Priory just kept holding it back.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was good.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe Priory's a me thing. I just was never a fan of it.
It might just be a you thing. I mean, I don't think it's the best dungeon.
No, most people I know try to skip Priory if they can.
Yeah.
But maybe I just hang out with people like me.
There's nothing wrong with that.
That's true. That's why I hang out with Gorilla.
Yep.
Dude, Gorilla, are you going to BlizzCon?
People. You bet your bottom dollar.
Dude, we gotta meet up.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Anyways,
I'm excited.
back to the conversation at hand. Sorry, I get so distracted. Priory was pretty sick. I'm trying to think what other dungeons. You know what dungeon is very unremarkable? City of Threads.
What?
City of Threads.
Right.
I feel like it's just unremarkable.
Yeah, City of Threads is kind of rough.
Yeah, I don't think anybody loved City of Threads. It felt a little weird. Again, it could have been good, but there's just some weird things in it. I think the little go find the spies or whatever was a bit obnoxious to do. Not the end of the world. Like, if you got good at it, it wasn't the hardest. Like, it wasn't hard. It just... it just felt like it's a whole moment where you're just not doing anything.
How did you guys like the mechanics in was it Streets, where you have to have the instrument?
Oh,
and you got
Streets.
That was a little different. That was a little different of a little mechanic.
That was fun. I mean, it was the same, I think, from Shadowlands, correct? Or did they change it? I think it was the same, right?
Is it the same?
I think it was. Either way, though.
I didn't do much dungeons in Shadowlands.
That makes sense. Either way, I enjoyed it. I always liked that mechanic. Back in Shadowlands, I played a tank primarily. Right. This season, when Tazavesh came back, I was actually maining healer per request of my guild or my raid leader. And so it's fun because as a healer, you just sit on the drums the whole time. Like, you don't have to move.
Right. Yeah.
Except one time, I'm trying to remember what happened one time. One time I ran in with my tank. I was like tanking the dungeon real quick for people. And I got on the drum by accident because I wasn't thinking. I was still in like healer brain. So I sit on the drum right away because I've been doing that all season. And then go, shoot, I'm not supposed to be on the drum. Let me get off the drum and, go grab a different instrument. And my exit vehicle button was layered under my extra action button that pops up.
Oh, no.
And I couldn't get off the drums.
Oh,
and I'm like stuck.
No.
I'm stuck on there to the end of the fight. Man, dude, that was the worst. Trying to tank that boss while stuck on the drums was like the worst move I could have made. We did it. We did it, but it was horrible.
What a troll.
So yeah. So that's my key memory. I like Streets though. Streets is a fun dungeon.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Honestly, like both parts of Tazavesh I think are really good. What did you guys think, by the way? Speaking of which, what did you think of not having? Because Tazvesh was originally a mega dungeon. What did you two think of not having a mega dungeon this season? Obviously, they still gave us 2 dungeons.
I never really did that.
Yeah.
So like, I just did it as just regular dungeons. I never did like mega dungeon.
That makes sense. What did you think, Chicken?
I thought it was okay. I mean, I think it's kind of like it was still there, so it didn't feel like super weird, but I mean, we kind of got the things that we needed, right?
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out how I want to pose this question for the both of you, right? And to conclude that conversation too, both, as we said, Floodgate and Ecodome were both goated dungeons. Like, both of those were so fun.
Oh yeah.
Right? And so, like, you can't really complain when the 2 dungeons you got as an alternate were both absolutely fantastic. And hopefully a good sign, maybe, of what's to come in Midnight, right? I would hope. I did a couple Midnight dungeons.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. And so that's pretty sick. What I want to ask, too, though, is because of the way they released them and only having 3 seasons, this expansion, Ecodome, I think this also applies to, like, City of Threads and maybe Stone Vault. I don't remember, honestly. But let's say Ecodome for sure, right? Let's say Season 2 of Midnight, we get Ecodome back in rotation. Would that feel too soon, keeping in mind... So it's really only a 1-season separation. Would that feel too soon, keeping in mind that we've actually only ever had Ecodome for 1 season?
Maybe. I mean,
I guess so, but I mean, me personally, I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah, it's kind of unprecedented.
Would people get bored
territory.
of it? Yeah, probably. Would they have to update it maybe a little bit? Yeah.
Right. And the reason why I asked that question is, like, when Blizzard creates a new dungeon, what should the lifespan of that dungeon be, right? Because we're kind of in this spot where Shadowlands, we got all the same dungeons until Season 4, right? So Season 4 is when they started experimenting with rotating dungeons. And then in Dragonflight, they had 4 seasons, and so the plan was all the Dragonflight dungeons, I think you had 2 chances, right? You had 2 seasons where you could do each one. So that each dungeon at least had half the expansion that it was present. This is the first time, A, we've only had 3 seasons, and B, we have dungeons that are only being used once in the whole, like, expansion, right, for a season. So that's kind of where that question came from, of as this progresses, right? Like, we have a Dragonflight dungeon coming back, and it's kind of like, oh, is that too soon? Is it not too soon? Algathar's a banger, so, whatever. But Algathar still had 2 full seasons that it was present in Dragonflight. Now we're exiting a expansion where Ecodome only had 1 season that it was present, and Ecodome was kind of a banger. So, like, it was a good dungeon. Do you really want to see a good dungeon just kind of enter the vault after a one season run?
Yeah, I mean, they gotta save it for a next time.
What's gonna happen is people are gonna talk about how, like, Season 2 of Midnight is the worst season we've ever had in World of Warcraft, and they're gonna have
bring it back.
mass exodus of players going to Ashes of Creation or something. And
oh no,
good reference there. Anyways, players leaving, and they're like, "Wait, don't go, guys! In Season 3, we're gonna bring back Ecodome."
Everybody comes back.
Everybody comes back. God. The world is saved. Like, world hunger ends and cancer's cured. Ecodome is back.
Whoa.
Yeah, dude. Things get real good. All right. Moving on. We kind of talked about dungeon design, things we like, things we didn't like. We don't really have time to go through every individual dungeon, but I thought that was a great conversation. Affixes. We got major affixes changes for the War Within. I was talking or I was listening to some people talk recently, and they're going over dungeons for the War Within, and they're just like, yeah, nothing really changed for dungeons, right? And I'm like, what do you mean nothing changed? We got a lot of changes. I just think we forget them because it's been since, like, the start. But affixes were totally revamped. How do you two feel about that?
I think it made it easier in a sense. But you got to also understand the game is trying to bring new people to the game, right?
Yep.
Where like you have all these people who have the mythic ego, I call it, and they get pissed because like, oh, they're making this easier for all these, you know, newbie players. And it's like, yo, that's where all their money is going to be coming from. So they want to make these dungeons, you know, a little easier and not just, you know, it's still hard. You still got to watch out for other things and certain things. But what did everybody do is a lot of people, I mean, at least that I know, were spamming like 12. So you don't have to even deal with the affect.
Also, it's infinitely scaling content, right? So like,
right.
If it's too easy, you just scale up till it's too hard.
Yep.
Yeah. Chicken, what were you about to say?
Yeah, I mean, I've gone on record as saying that I'm not a huge fan of the affix changes, but I understand, and I'm kind of in the same boat of like, hey, yeah, like it definitely made the game easier, and it kind of dumbed down a lot of things. I mean, knowing what we know now, it makes a lot of sense because it's like, hey, like, yeah, we need to take away add-ons, and we're simplifying kind of how classes work. So maybe it makes sense to do this, and like that makes sense on like a pure standpoint of like, hey, you know, we're in like a totally different game almost right now than we were when we started. So.
Dude,
yeah.
I think I feel a little differently than the two of you. I really like the affix change, and I don't think it's about being easier or harder. I think the old affixes were just bad. Like I think I would say objectively, but I don't think it's objective. I think it's, you know, my opinion, right? It's my opinion that they're bad. But like the idea that I would, you know, I have a bot. It still goes off. I need to delete it because it's kind of pointless now. But I used to have a bot on my Discord, right, that would tell me what affixes were coming up, right? So it'd be like, oh, this week, these are the affixes. Chicken, remember when I used to make weekly videos, too, for YouTube where I'd be like, this week's affixes are such and such, such and such, such and such. And here's how you handle them. Here's what you should do. Change your talents to have this, right? Whatever. But you know what? I think the idea that I would look at the affixes for the week and go, oh, I'm going to play less World of Warcraft this week. I just don't know.
A lot of people did that. Yeah.
Right? And some people, like, again, nostalgia changes everything, right? So some people look back and they remember the push weeks, the weeks where, like, they had the perfect aligning of affixes where, like, actually that'd be great to push. To me, that wasn't fun, right? Like, I guess I didn't run enough dungeons for that to matter. But for me, it's like when I log into WoW, I want to just be able to jump into the dungeon and do it. I don't want to be sitting there like, oh, dang it, dude. It's a tyrannical week, bro. These bosses suck on tyrannical weeks. I don't want to do this, right? Or like sanguine, right? As a tank, sanguine weeks, let me go play Hello Kitty Island Adventure instead, right? Like, dude, I just did not want to deal with it. So the idea that they're like, I don't know. To me, the old affix system, I think we liked it because it was what we started with, and it's what we had from the beginning with M+. But the new affix system seems just a better playing experience, right? And I think the new affix is like, the nice thing is they add a little challenge to the dungeon without necessarily having to make the enemies harder until, you know, that 12 level. They add a nice little challenge. They add some weekly flavor. But they also feel fun because it's not just like, oh, hey, Zalatath is going to come up and punch all of you in the nuts and you're going to take extra 50% damage, right? It's like, yo, Zalatath is going to show up, and if you do this right, she'll punch your enemies in the nuts instead. And now all of a sudden, like...
Why can't she kick it?
That's true. That's probably she needs shoes for that. So, anyways, but the point being, though, that, like, I don't know, there's something nice, like, even when I do an under 12, like, right now I've been running dungeons a lot with my wife, so we're doing, like, lower level dungeons. And it's kind of fun, like, the affixes pop up, and you're like, oh, sick, let me just take care of these, and I'll get, like, a little power boost. Maybe my cooldowns will go faster, or whatever, right?
Right.
And that feels good, the whole Kiss Curse thing. And then once I get up to, like, the 12 level, at that point, it's like, dude, I just want to lock in and try and make sure I'm grabbing these packs right, make sure I'm doing everything right, and, like, really dialing it in. If I need more challenge, then I just go up a key level. I just make it harder. Naturally, I make it harder. So could they still innovate on the affixes? Absolutely. Do I have suggestions for once in my life? Probably not. So I don't know. I like the affixes, but also I understand why people wouldn't like them, like the changes. I just think that like there's not been a single season this expansion that I logged in and went, oh, I'm gonna avoid dungeons this week.
Yeah,
nice.
I agree. I just did them. I enjoyed every single one of them.
Yeah. Well, I think part of it, like in the past, it was like I'd log in, and if like a friend really wanted me to, I'd do it. And I wasn't like absolutely avoiding. I still liked dungeons, but all of a sudden it would be like, oh, I can't do that dungeon with that affix. I just knew. I would just look at it and be like, oh, I can't do that, right? And I don't know. I didn't like. That always felt weird. I don't know. I just didn't like weeks where it felt like, oh, this week's an easy week. This week's a hard week. I just like logging in and being like, I want to go do dungeons because I like doing dungeons and it's the same as last week, but that's okay because I just like the content. I think it also helps that we're not, again, the old affix system I think was designed for a time when you had the same 8 dungeons for 4 seasons.
Yeah, that's probably what the main thing was.
Yeah.
To keep things interesting, and I mean, it's still divided people, right?
Yep.
You don't see your healers logging on this week or your tanks.
Absolutely. All right. Moving on a little bit. This one can be brief because we kind of already touched on it. We saw a lot of returning dungeons this expansion. Every season, I think we got at least 4 dungeons that were old dungeons that were returning. How did that feel? You guys think they picked some good ones? Do you guys think there were any that were notoriously bad? Any that were actually excellent in terms of returning dungeons?
Oh, yeah. No, they had some good returning dungeons.
Tazavesh, Gambit,
Yeah.
Streets, probably.
Like I enjoyed Streets, yeah, and Gambit.
Yeah.
Those were
Streets is always good.
I'm trying
Yeah.
to remember what else we got. I mean,
we got a couple. We got a good bit of Shadowlands, which is kind of surprising.
Patrol, right?
oh, dude, Grim Patrol. Okay,
Oh,
Grim
yeah,
Patrol
we
was
had Grim
garbage,
Patrol.
dude. I hated
Siege
Grim
of
Patrol.
Borealis.
Dude, Grim Patrol would have been.
Yeah, Siege was okay too.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Going into Siege of Borealis, people really disliked it, but I had a lot of fun. That actually became one of my favorites.
That's why bad.
The last boss was a little annoying, but the dungeon as a whole, I think it maybe just as a tank. I really like tanking it.
Arakara wasn't too bad.
No. Arakar though
Sure.
was a War Within dungeon that wasn't returning. Yeah. That was remember the Ashkahet place that we all tried to forget about? That was
Yeah.
Oh right.
Dude, Grim Patrol was rough. And honestly, I didn't love the tuning on Grim Patrol, but if Grim Patrol came out after the Waystone system showed up, it probably would have been like 50% better.
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness.
Dude, 'cause when you die in Grim Patrol and have to run a 5K just to get back to everybody.
Yeah. What they updated that late too.
Yeah.
When they added those waste.
I think Grim Patrol was maybe the catalyst big time for that conversation. I thought what was the other Shadowlands dungeon we got? I'm blanking on the name. It's the one from
oh my goodness. I know which one you're talking about. The Maldraxxus one.
No, not the
my
Maldraxxus
gosh.
one. No. You're thinking of Theater of Pain. No, I'm talking about the not Amir Drasil. It's related to.
Oh, you're talking about yeah, that one.
Yeah, why am I blanking? I was just there the other day buying housing.
The only
decor.
Shadowlands ones were Gambit and Street.
No. We had Gambit, we had Streets, we had Theater of Pain, and then we also had
Miss of Tyrannocyte.
Yeah, Miss of Tyrannocyte. Miss of Tyrannocyte. I always like Miss of Tyrannocyte. I don't think everyone likes it, but I like it. That was a fun one. That was a fun one. Dude, but if they follow the same trend, we're gonna get a handful of Dragonflight dungeons. We already have
oh, that's right.
Alcathar coming up. Yeah.
Ruby life pools, dude. Some Ruby.
Ooh. Dude, I like Ruby life pools.
Me too.
Dude,
Quick and easy.
I hated Ruby season 1. Season 1, I hated Ruby, and I think they retuned it a bit, and it was a lot better. But also, maybe it's because I'm a tank. Maybe it's because I'm a tank, and I would get so ticked off every time people would pull the dragon by accident.
Oh,
That's the fun part.
I'm like, dude, what you guys
I
doing?
don't got to worry about that. What do I, you know?
What do I worry about that?
That's a
tank
that
problem.
sounds like a tank.
that's a tank.
problem.
Yeah, tank and healer problem.
Yeah. So returning dungeons, I think overall did good. There was maybe a couple sour ones, but overall a lot of great returning dungeons, which is good to see. For a minute there, the returning dungeons I think in Dragonflight were kind of a very, very hit or miss, and now they're bringing them back and they feel pretty good, which is nice. We got resilient keys, by the way, this expansion. I have no they're good. I think there's probably tweaking they can do to the system. Right, I think there's maybe tweaking that can be done. I almost wonder if resilient keys should be one level lower than what you've timed, or so if you've timed all 12s, then your resills are 11s. But that's more so for the benefit, I think, of the higher end player experience. For my personal player experience, I love them, so I don't care. And they could stay the same, and I have no problem.
I mean, it's nice because like if I have like a resil key, I could be like, oh, let me bring you through this, and you can like learn at your own pace because it's not going to go down.
Yeah.
And, you know, obviously you advertise it so people know what they're getting into when they get into the key.
Yep.
But it allows you to bring friends and have them practice. People who don't want to pug things and get yelled at.
Yeah. I think the only negative I really hear about is from the like high end player experience, right? The people are pushing,
ego.
right? People are pushing like title and stuff, and I think that's where it gets hard. Maybe is they feel like people are getting into that title range that normally would never be in that key, but now they have like the whole friend group is just kind of as a lump sum getting in there because one guy has it. And if that's the case, if that's really a problem, then I'm sure Blizzard could come up with a system that like averages out what the current like title range is and just automates itself, that like the resil cap only goes up to like one level below title range or something, or 2 levels below title range. Whatever the case is, or resil only goes to like a 19 or something, right? Or 17, I guess. I don't know. Either way, I like resills. My experience with them is good. I don't have any like negative to them. I thought they also added like a nice little challenge to get to for me, right? For me, it was like, oh wow, I got all my 12s. I have resills now. But then it was like every level after that, it's like, well, now I can go get resil 13s. Right? It felt cool having like those micro goals. They weren't small, but like a little smaller than like going for title.
Exactly. Gives you something to do.
Yeah. Speaking of which, they also added the Keystone Legend. Anything that helps push me to want to go a little further is always great, right? Like I like the incentive to challenge myself. It's hard to challenge yourself when there's no like goal, right? When it's just like, oh, I just want to get better. Well, to what point, right? And then how do you mark that, right? So I like those. I thought Keystone Legend was cool. I don't know if people like that there's a mount.
And you got a mount this time?
But I like the mount.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, because before they never gave out a mount.
Mm-hmm.
It was just the itch.
Yeah. Actually, I think Keystone Legend had a mount once they created it. I don't think it
No. It just gave you a title, I'm pretty sure.
No, that's
And
Hero.
Hero.
Hero had the title.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Legend just went above it. No, you're good. You're good. I have to take notes on all these things, so I get to look at notes. That's why. There's title. But the last thing I want to talk about with dungeons before we move on, talk about raids and some other stuff. I feel like there were some reward changes with dungeons for gearing. And maybe this will be... Actually, I'm going to save this when we talk about delves, because I think this is very tied to delves. So we're going to hold that. But just keep in mind later we're going to talk about dungeon gear rewards when we get to the delve conversation a bit. So raids. Let's talk raids real quick. We got 4. We got 4 raids this expansion. 3 seasons before raids. Looking at the big 3, though... Rhubarb Palace, Undermine, and Mana Forge Omega. What do you guys think? I like them. I thought the raids were actually all pretty fantastic. But my bias aside, Chicken, how'd you feel with these raids?
Yeah, no, I like the raids. It's kind of hard for me to comment on Undermined and
Mana Forge
Omega just because I didn't do them like too terribly much, but like I played them enough to to think about them and know. At least Liberation, Mana Forge, maybe not, but like I thought they were both good.
Yeah.
Done. Or I thought the ones that I had a lot of experience were both very, very well thought out, good storyline, great boss mechanics. No, I thought they were good.
Yeah, bosses felt very fun. Gorilla, you've been doing a bit of raiding this expansion. How do you feel? You like them comparatively to other expansions?
The palace I wasn't a big fan of.
Yeah.
But Undermine, I would say that was very fun. Yeah, because I mean, I was just raid with a great group of people too, and we just have a good time. And you know, the first boss too, when people wipe out because he drifts and kills everybody, and people don't know about like funny things like that, or
Dude,
just
someone
some
just
things that they say.
shared with us in our guild like yesterday. Just shared a video they recorded from when we first did that fight. Like we first entered the raid, and they have the recording of people dying from that boss loading in.
But even like, you know, the bosses that clash together, the gorilla and the T-Rex there, and I mean just all that was pretty sick. The mechanics that they had.
Yeah, and the designs were cool.
Yeah, like casino theme, the chips rolling it back, and I thought that was really cool. But Mana Forge Omega was my favorite one.
Dude, Mana Forge was awesome. Yeah.
And just the bosses were great. The colors, everything in the fights. You have to use your cloak to go through the walls. Like it was just pretty cool.
No,
the only downfall about that is like if you were to try to bring people in there that don't have their cloak.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, oh well, you need your cloak, right? You're B at that point.
You have to have it. But at the same time too, right? It was kind of that funny like line of like, hey, well, what if I want to just bring my friend in who normally would never do this stuff? On the other hand, it's also,
and that's what it comes down to. It's like we could just summon you each fight. It's fine.
But also, there's also an element of it that's like for the normal raid team, right? It's really easy for like people to end up on your team that you can tell they have no interest in actual like raiding. They just like being present, which is fine until, you know, like push comes to shove, and you're like, dude, you haven't even like geared, right? Like I don't know if you've ever experienced that, like the raid team member who like shows up and somehow their gear's worse than the week before.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, what just happened? How is that? Right. And so
what can we do to help you here?
Right. Like, so you encounter a little bit of that, I think, with Mana Forge, where you get the person where you're like, dude, you don't even have your cloak yet, bro. We're like 2 weeks in. We're 2 weeks into the season, man. How do you have your cloak? You know, but you know, at the same time, other than that, and I don't know. I think the expectation was Blizzard's like, why would you not want the cloak, right? Like, I think to the designers were probably like, no, nobody's going to have that problem. Everybody will want the cloak. But I liked it. I don't know if there was a bad raid. I think design-wise, Narubar Palace, again, it falls in the same trap as Ashgahet. Like, how much do I really care, right? Like, how much, like, why do I care about this Spider Queen, right? Like,
right, but they couldn't throw like a banger raid at the start, right?
Yeah,
they had to have known like they're gonna have better stuff, and if they just did it like a banger raid, they would have to, you know, make all the other raids way better. But
in terms of like the actual like fights in there, right? The design was whatever, but the fights were good. I liked.
Yeah, they weren't.
I liked the Narubar fights. I think there was that uniqueness where the first 4 bosses felt really easy, which I don't think was great, but it did make it interesting, especially when you start thinking about like Mythic, where a lot of raid teams that normally wouldn't touch Mythic started to like see what they could do at least, which was nice. And then I think Queen Ansarek might have been the hardest. I think Queen Ansarek was the hardest final boss. Definitely wasn't Gallywix. Yeah, definitely not Gallywix. I think Queen Ansarek was the hardest final boss. That had a lot, even on just heroic mode, that had a lot of mechanics.
Gallywix was a fun fight. Demencius, that's such a great fight.
Oh, dude. Again, Demencius, I think, does the same thing that Dawnbreaker does well. It includes flying in a way. Includes flying in a way that feels good, right? Gorilla, did you play during Wrath?
Slightly, yes.
Okay. There were some like weird flying mechanics in boss fights in Wrath that just felt clunky. They felt bad, right? And that kind of started, and then you also saw it again in you know, when you go to Oldemon, whatever, right? Oldawar, is that the Oldawar? Anyways, whatever the case is, I think it's the Oldawar raid though in Wrath, if I'm getting the name right. Where the first boss, you have to like ride the vehicles to fight the boss, and those never feel good, right? Like
no, yeah.
And so there's always this like
catapults and stuff.
Right. This connotation that flying is stupid, even or any type of vehicle is stupid. Even in Onaran Plains back in Dragonflight, it just felt like you were flying forever to get from location to location. Like it was kind of a nuisance. And I thought this expansion did that well with Dawnbreaker. Dawnbreaker felt really good having some flying added in there. And then even if it was buggy, but the concept was there. And then I felt like Dimensius. I thought the flying was awesome. It kind of gives you a moment to recharge your cooldowns, which is nice, but it feels engaging. And it makes the fight feel big. Like, because otherwise Dimensius would feel small, but those flying moments make Dimensius feel huge.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what flying I didn't like? Dragonflight, Taylor Swift, Tindrill's Sage Swift, Swift something.
Nah, that wasn't bad.
I didn't like that. That one felt a little clunky. Not like Dimensius felt smooth, and Dimensius almost felt like you were flying on rails, which I liked. You weren't on rails, but it felt like you were on rails, which
right,
actually is kind of
because it had like the beam there, and you had to kind of go around it.
Yeah, right. Like you weren't questioning how to get to the place. You just had to get to the place, right? I like that. It wasn't like Tindrill where you're trying to dodge things and like get the things that you need to get. No, I believe there were some things to get for Dimensius, but it wasn't
Dimensius.
But it wasn't everybody, right? Which is nice.
No, well, yeah.
Yeah.
The little circles gave you more of the vigor to kill.
So this expansion, we actually had 4 raids. We've talked about 3 of them so far. We also had in season 1, we had that bonus kind of anniversary raid pop up. What was that? Blackrock Spire or something? Whichever one it was. How'd that feel?
Dude, I don't even know.
Do it?
Exactly.
That right.
I feel like season 1 was so far away.
Which is weird because it's actually a lot closer.
Feel like mad far away.
It's a lot closer right now than in past expansions, right? Because this is like the shortest expansion maybe we've ever had.
Yeah.
It was Blackrock Depths. That's what it was. Blackrock Depths.
Yes.
Right. Was a raid. I did a little bit of it with our guild. The problem with Blackrock Depths, it came out too quickly after after the launch of the expansion, right? The whole anniversary thing just happened too fast. And so but when it came out, I don't think we were done with Narubar yet.
No.
Right?
Our guild wasn't, no.
So it came out, we weren't done with Narubar yet. We were still working on Narubar. The tuning of it was okay. Like the tuning was fine. I think one boss was too hard, and then they fixed that later. But the gear rewards were kind of lame, right? So by the time it came out, if you were the type of player that would want to do that content, there was nothing really to get from it. And I think there was like an entire stat that just was missed in the loot pool for that raid as well. And so I think that's what made it hard. Is I think I would have preferred if they pushed it back, like to the halfway point, and then maybe given slightly better gear, right? Like had a way to just, I don't know, just like kind of little extra something, little extra fake turbo boost, whatever, right? At the end there.
Fake turbo boost.
Right. That would have felt better. It just felt like it overlapped too hard. It just felt like it overlapped too hard. And I think the concept was there. The execution just missed.
I could agree with that.
Yeah. My worry, though, is because Blizzard tracks all that kind of stuff. My worry is that they tracked it, and we're like, oh, almost nobody did this. We should not waste our time trying to do this again.
I can't imagine. Maybe. Maybe.
Yeah. I was reading this is kind of a little off topic, but interesting. I was reading a Twitter post this week. The Twitter post was coming from a ex-dev from WoW Classic, right? was a developer. She had worked on WoW Classic. She had just recently left the team. She'd been on the team for a long time for WoW Classic. And she was responding to people complaining about the tuning choices for Burning Crusade bosses, right? Pre-nerf, post-nerf, those kind of things, right? And it's funny watching people like argue her because she's sitting there. She's like, guys, I looked at the data. Don't tell me what you did and didn't like. I looked at the data. I know what people played. I know what they didn't play. I know which bosses guilds got stuck on. I know, right? Like sure, the 3 best guilds in the game in Classic had no problem clearing it, but 95% of the guilds couldn't, right? Like it was interesting, right? Because Blizzard tracks all of that. They know that stuff, and that's my worry that they'll look at something like that and be like, oh, let's not do that again. Nobody played it, but I think the reason nobody played it was because it was basically I think it was like 1 month into a brand new expansion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyways, moving on because we have so many topics to talk about and we're almost out of time, so we're gonna kind of.
Yeah, I got like 15 minutes. Sorry.
No, same.
Okay.
We're not.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah. We can't. We got to wrap up. So you're good.
I got work in the morning. I got to go shovel my driveway.
Ooh,
It's snowing
same.
like crazy over here.
Same. I got lots of snow, but I don't have to shovel because my landlord takes care of that.
Oh
so,
my gosh.
anyways, we got the kind of battle pass renown system for raids. Yay or nay? I'm a yay on that. I like the
Yeah, it
renown
was
track.
neat.
It's been
Yeah,
nice.
it gives you more rewards.
Yeah.
I mean, it gives you something to work towards, like you said earlier. I mean,
Yeah.
it's going to keep people playing the game. The more you give them more rewards, and
Yeah, the rewards were cool. Cool
gets
rewards.
that dopamine hit of completing something.
Yeah, and it's a nice natural way to nerf, right? We didn't get a lot for the last 2 seasons. We didn't get a lot of major nerfs to the raid because the renown track naturally nerfed it as you got more player power, which I thought was cool. Let's just talk a couple quick ones. Earthen Allied Race, they're cool. I didn't think too much of it. I don't know if either of you guys are partial, yay or nay on them.
Yeah. I think the Earthen was pretty cool.
Yeah, they're cool. They're cool. Let's talk.
I play Druid.
If they added druids to the Earthen and you could be like a stony rock like boomkin.
Stone
would you play
animals,
one?
that'd be wild, dude.
Yeah, like crystal
Literally.
animals. Yeah. Dude, imagine
play.
like you were a boomkin every time you were casting, like internally it glowed.
That'd be sick.
That'd be
Full
sick.
moons coming down as crystals.
Yeah,
Boom.
that'd be sick. That'd be sick. Okay, there we go. Blizzard, let's do it. We got the Warband system in the War Within, right? So all those ideas of like combining your bank accounts, combining like being able to trade armor more easily, combining currencies, combining reputation, renown. I really like that. I love not having to check different characters for who has the better like renown. The last thing I want to do is like farm renown on a character and then have to go farm renown again on a different character for the same faction.
Yeah, I play one character. Go Druid.
He's
Exactly.
like, I don't know, dude, it's the same. To
My
me,
renown stays on one character. Yep.
to me, I think war bands were one of the coolest features they added. Plus, they gave us our podcast name, so I'll bring it.
True.
All right, rotation assist tools. So we have the 1-button rotation. We also have the rotation helper, right? That kind of like the Hikili type thing that tells you what kind of spells to hit next. Overall, I'm pretty positive on them. There was some question for me in the beginning, and I got a lot of flack for it, dude. We got some hate mail. I'm not gonna lie, we got some hate mail from things I said. I don't think anything I said was wrong. I'm still holding to that. I think the 1-button rotation was too strong at this when it first came out, and you were seeing people just do too much. I think the 1-button rotation should probably do a little below average. Right, enough that you're able to get into the content with your friends that you want to do, but like if you're putting an effort to play that you're keeping up, it's a funky balance because it needs to be an assist for people. Like that, it has to be a good assist to be worth using, but also you don't want to show up to raid and have your raid leader tell like a third of the team to switch to the 1-button.
Oof. Yeah.
Yeah. Gorilla, you had mentioned it before we started recording. You had some thoughts on it. You had some experiences with some of your community members that you've talked to.
Yeah. I mean, I see it as a very good thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got to think, okay, this is going to work with a controller a lot easier.
Yep.
It's going to bring a whole set of different eyes because we got, housing and all that stuff now.
Yeah.
But it's going to be bringing, I can now play the game because I don't got to think about hitting 5,000 different buttons.
Yep.
And for people who have, let's say, I know someone who had a stroke and it allowed him to play.
Yeah.
Like, because he can now hit one button because the left side of his body is, not able to be used. And,
absolutely.
It lets him experience things. And it's not like it's like extremely OP. Like even my buddy's wife started playing WoW and she uses it, but it lets her experience things with us. Like we're not gonna be like, oh, sorry, you don't do enough damage. But no, do a little bit of better damage with this one button and let us carry you through.
Yeah, and that way they can focus on mechanics.
Just to learn.
Right? Yeah.
Right, exactly. You get the mechanics down and then we tell them to we'll tell her, so add in like a couple cooldowns or add in this to it. Don't just hit it. And then eventually maybe lean off of it. But it's always there if you need it.
Yeah. And I think what you said is so key too, right? Like it's not overpowered. I think it was overpowered when it launched, and there's been a bunch of changes to it. I think they also probably changed up the rotations a little bit too. And now it feels like it sits in the right spot. It just felt like it was too much for a minute there, where I'm like watching people hit the one button and do more damage than like 75% of people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, wait, hold up, back up there, right? How do you get in the right spot? Because otherwise you end up in this dangerous territory of like now players who normally shouldn't be using it are forced to use it, and now your experience is bad because you're like, the gameplay is now bad, right? I previously enjoyed gameplay, and now I'm just smacking one button. The balance is the person who benefits from it should really love it, and the person who doesn't need it shouldn't feel obligated to move to it, right? Having that sweet balance where it's the best of both worlds, and I think they've landed there. It just took a minute, and I think they've landed there, which is good. We had mentioned that we had gotten some mid-patch content, Siren Isles. It was okay. It was I don't remember if there's like any other. We got the return of the I don't remember the name of it, like the nightmare things from BFA.
Yeah, I did like a gear catch-up.
Oh, right.
Yeah, those gear catch-ups. So we had a couple of those. Those are cool. I think Blizzard did a good job this expansion constantly, even if it wasn't stuff I wanted to partake in, of constantly creating opportunity to do things, right? I think I don't think anybody could say that there was a lack of things to do in the War Within. I think there was always something.
No, they definitely brought a bunch of things.
Mm-hmm.
And they tried to, I think they timed it pretty well.
Yeah.
With like end of season 3, a lot of players end up leaving and coming back when the new expansion comes.
Yeah.
But even myself, I even did this time around, but I know there's a lot of other people who stuck around and did a lot of the housing and grinded, and they gave them an opportunity to do something before the next expansion comes out. Absolutely.
We also have I'm looking at the rest of our notes because we have one last topic I want to hit. I'll just make a note on this. We won't go into topic, but I thought even the casual and competitive experiences were well balanced. I think there's a lot of catch-up opportunity. I think the casual player had opportunity to get good gear, which was nice. With that said, I want to kind of switch now into talking about delves, right? Maybe take 2 minutes, discuss delves real fast. I don't think any of us are big delve players, but I thought overall, I have one major gripe with delves that I'll conclude with, but overall, I actually think the addition of delves was awesome for a lot of players. Super helpful.
Sure.
It's content that you can pause, right? That you don't get a lot of that in WoW, right? And so content that you can just go, I have to step away. My son needs me, or something happened. I gotta go take care of it. If you can't commit to a whole half hour to sit down and focus, delves I think are phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
And you go at your own pace. Yeah, like that.
Yep. My one gripe with delves, my one negative on delves, is that I think maybe I'm in conspiracy territory here, but I'm pretty sure I'm correct on this. I think they really wanted to create a system that a more casual player can get solid gear, right? Hero track gear. And I think what ended up happening instead, because the content of delves, listen, somebody might hate me for this, content of delves isn't hard. Delves are not deeply difficult content, and that's fine. That's totally fine. But I don't think when delves came out I don't think they justified the gear that they were giving out, right? There was a minute where it was harder to get gear from dungeons than it was to get gear from delves. And so they compensated by then making it easier to get gear in dungeons. And so now you basically just get free hero gear in dungeons easily. And I think that was a miss. I think they should have made it a little bit harder to get hero gear from delves, maybe by adding an extra track or two to the delve system, right? Going up to 13 or something instead of 11. Just right, like raising some of the difficulty. I don't know if the 1 through 3 range is necessary to exist in the delve ecosystem or something. Maybe I'm wrong on that. But I think that's the one thing. If I had a critique of delves, is I think delves made any gear below hero track pretty much non-existent. And I think if they can find a way to fix that and correct that issue, I think I'd be happier with the delve system. Because again, I think the only reason why it bothers me is because it overflows then into my experience in other content. Right now I'm going, oh wait, why am I getting hero gear from 2s, right? I did the +2 and now I have hero in the vault. That feels weird, right? And so, yeah, I don't know. That's my one negative. Awesome. No response
delves, there. Man,
dude.
Yeah,
I'm just.
But I respect people who do delves. Yeah. I respect people.
All right, and normally we would do our little promos, so we don't quite have time for that. So if you're listening, please support us on Patreon. I'll just say that, and we'll move on. We have one question from listeners today. I wanted to save this one specifically for the end of this podcast. We have one question from our listeners from Wargramps. I adore Wargramps. He's been a long-time listener of the podcast. This is like the earliest episodes. He's fantastic. But Wargramps says this question will be for VibingGorilla when he is on. Well, he is on today. So Gorilla, here's his question. What did you do to become a great live streamer? I'm wanting to learn from the best.
Well, listen, I'm not the best. I just enjoy. You got to enjoy it, right? And just understand that consistency is key, and you learn from your mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
The mistakes are good to make because it's something you can learn from, right? If you're perfect, you ain't learning nothing.
Ooh,
and it's going to go up and down, right? It's a roller coaster. You may not get all the hits on this one video, but you look back at the video and you see, was the beginning of my video, was the hook right? Was I able to get their attention in the first 3 seconds? There's a lot that goes into it, but mainly you got to just enjoy doing it, right? Because at the end of the day, if you don't enjoy something, then why are you doing it?
Absolutely. Well, Gorilla, dude, that's such a good response, man. I don't want to cut things short, but I want to honor your time as much as possible, dude. Thank you so much for being on.
Absolutely.
This was a fantastic episode. We're hyped.
Thanks for having me.
We're hyped. The next time you hear from Chicken and I, it will be next week with our friend Mothra Vita, a.k.a. Oreo, a.k.a. the healer that comes on the podcast occasionally.
Oh my gosh.
Having now played post early access. So with that said, thank you, Gorilla, and
thank you.
Goodbye, War Within, and we are so excited to get into midnight.
Let's go midnight. Woo, 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 woo.